Shalom, and welcome to another B'nai Jacob 125th anniversary video. This one is very different and very special. I'm on location here at the home in Kanawha City, the home of two very dear congregants. I'm with a student, Sean, who will be celebrating his bar mitzvah ceremony during our 125th year here at the synagogue. And also I have his brother, Josiah, who just celebrated his bar mitzvah last year. I'm here because the 125-year story of B'nai Jacob did not actually begin in a synagogue. It actually began at a home. I'm not sure about the date, but sometime in 1884, Julius Neerman came to Charleston. Around the same time, other Jewish families started coming from Eastern Europe, following on the heels of the first Jews who settled here in the 1860s from Germany, and began what is known as the Reform community that proudly continues to this day. The Neermans and families like the Cohens, the Wells, the Boraskis, Harks, Frankels, Pedlipskis, all formed what you'd call the nucleus of what would soon be the Orthodox Jewish community here in West Virginia, in Charleston. A physical B'nai Jacob synagogue started when the temple on State Street was bought in 1894 by these Jewish families as both the Reform and the Orthodox Jewish communities were starting to grow. The Reform community was growing and moved to Virginia Street, and that's where the Virginia Street Temple was created. Meanwhile, the Orthodox community was growing and outgrew the Court Street shul and bought the State Street Methodist Church. But while the synagogue then began officially in 1894 on State Street, its origin started much earlier, for the first services, the first religious events, the first Hebrew lessons were held prior to that at the home of Julius and Libby Neerman. That's where the B'nai Jacob community's story actually began. So, why am I here? Well, I'm at the home of Nemo and Rita Neerman, the home of the grandson of Julius and Libby Neerman. 125 years later, the sixth generation of the Neerman family is studying at the home of the family it all started with. You know what we say? Ledor vador, from generation to generation. As we get ready for the 125th, I thought it would be cool to reenact how it all began. So Sean and I are going to have a lesson together here at the Neerman home, just like it was before B'nai Jacob started. Before we do so, I'm going to ask Josiah to read out loud a passage from Simon Meyer's classic book, 100 Years, an anthology of Charleston Jewry. And next time, I hope you'll join us for a very special interview with the grandson of Julius and Libby Neerman, Nemo, joined by his wife, Rita. I think you're going to enjoy that. Josiah, if you do the honors.
As seen with the temple story, it would also be evident that the synagogue history would largely envelop the lives of its members. And so the story goes. Julius Neerman was married to Libby Simon. The fruitful marriage produced 8 children. Mr. Neerman started as a peddler, but later set up as a grocer. For this itinerant businessman, the family operated a kosher business house at 24 Clendenin Street. As time went on, the home served as a center for religious services. Julius Neerman and Libby Simon produced 8 children, of whom Philip Neerman, born in 1885, was the eldest. They lived at 24 Clendenin Street and later moved to Bibby Street. By the year 1890, minions were reported to have met at the home of Julius Neerman on Bibby Street. Services were held at this manor for 4 or 5 years.
Sean, you ready? Let's have a lesson. Ready?
Ein
kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai v'ein kema'asecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.